Kar Kadosh, Boker Tov, Mesechet Sukkah, starting a new Mesechet, Daf Bet Amud Aleph. We are starting. Sukkah Shehi Lemala, Shehi Givua Lemala Me'esrim Amah. Sukkah which is taller than 20 amot, Pesula, it is disqualified. But Rabbi Yehuda Machshir, Rabbi Yehuda says it's going to be kosher. V'she'ena Givua, and if it's not going to be tall, like 10 Tfachim, 10 Tfachim, and if it does not have the defanot, however, defanot we're going to see now, or it's got more sun than shade, pesula, it's going to be disqualified. So I'm going to share the screen with you. Here we have, right, you have over here, right, this is the sukkah which is gavua lemala me'asrim amah. Over here, you can see it over here. If it's going to be more than 20 amot, it's going to be disqualified. Here, if it's going to be less than 10 tefachim. Okay, if you guys want to see the pictures, come on this side. Yeah? Okay, here's less than 10 tefachim, more than 20 amot. Yeah, you see the pictures? Yeah. More than 20. Okay, next. Okay, she'en la shalosh tefanot, if it doesn't have 3 walls. So here, for example, this one over here, it only has 2 walls. Wall on the right and the left. And here also, it's considered only 2 walls. There's no 3rd wall. Okay, in here, this one, so if you look on the top, there's not a lot of schach. So therefore, there's more sun than shade. Okay, so in all these cases, right, disqualified. Okay, fine. Let's continue. Stop share. Okay, so says the Gemara. Tzanan Hatam, we learned over there in the Mishnah. Yeah? Tzanan Hatam. Which name? Tzanan Hatam, we learned over there in the Mishnah. Mavui shehu gavoa me'esrim amah yemaet. If you have a mavui which is again going to be taller than 20 amot from the ground, yemaet, you have to lower the mavui. So again, I'm going to share the screen so people could see. Okay, basically this is okay. So we're not going to see. This is Rashi. Here it is. Mavui shehu gavoa me'esrim amah. This is this picture over here. Okay, you see, this is, well, the mavui is basically remember, you have a chatzer on the right, chatzer on the left. The mavui is the common area, right? In between, it's like a side street in between 2 different chatzerot, 2 different courtyards. That's called a mavui. So now, let's say you have the mavui and it's taller than 20 amot, which means the korah, which is on the top, the crossbeam, which is on the top, in order to make it that you're able to carry within the entire area, right? This is the korah. You see it in this picture? Korah? This is called the korah, this beam, the top beam. On the sides, usually there's side posts, which are called lechi. And then on the top, it's called korah. This is Mesechet Eruvin that I'm teaching you now. We've already done it in the past, right? So chazara kostab, right? But basically what happens is that sukkah, right? So here we're talking about a mavui, which is taller than 20 amot. What do you have to do? You have to be mema'et. So it says over here, right, like this. So the question is, why is it that to do with the sukkah, we learn that if it's going to be taller than 20 amot, immediately what do we learn? Psula. But by the mavui, we said if it was taller than 20 amot, we didn't say psula. We just said yimayet. Meaning, it's very easy for a rabbi always to say, asur, pasul. That doesn't help me. Tell me, give me the antidote, give me the recipe, give me the remedy. How do you fix the problem? To say that the problem is a problem, you know how many people say that? All the time you have, it's a problem. This is not good. But tell me to get out of the problem. Give me the solution. Right? That's the way you're supposed to do it. Yeah, that's what the Gemara is trying to say. To minimize it, bring it down. We're going to see about it. We're going to see. 1 minute. So says the Gemara, that we said the remedy. We just said, bring it down. So answers the Gemara, sukkah is doraita. Since the sukkah is doraita, which means the disqualification is mina Torah, tani psula. That's why we said it was going to be invalid. Mavui is drabbanan, and since it's only going to be midrabbanan, because you're allowed to carry, right? Even without a korah on the 4th side, you're allowed to carry. Even without this top beam on the 4th side, you're allowed to carry. So therefore, there we taught the takanta, which means if it's going to be doraita, meaning according to the stringency, we just said disqualified. Sula. If it's going to be drabbanan, so therefore it's at a lower level, there I could come and I could give you how to fix the problem. right? Which means that usually you could give the problems to fix the problem when the problem isn't such a big problem. The second the problem is such a big problem, Ema Ladavet.
Why is there a banana? Why?
Mavui is always Darabanan. Next. Second answer. If you want, you can answer a second answer. Even if it's going to be a problem, Doraita, also we're going to teach the takana. Miu, however, though, Sukkah the Nefishi Milahu, the Mishnah, which is discussing the laws of Sukkah, which there's so many details, Pasik Vetani Psula, so it's stated in a clear manner, it's invalid. Mavui de lo nafish milahu, but in the case regarding to the Mavui, which details, there's not that many details, Tani Takanta. So there we just said the remedy, which means like this, Sukkah, there's so many rules, right? There's so many things. So for there we just said, you know what, Psula. And then we'll try to explain how to do it in certain circumstances. However, though, when it's talking about Mavui is very small. So for there, you could come, you could say, what's the takana? So you could come and you could explain what it is, right? There's a concept called tircha de tzibura. What is tircha de tzibura? People don't understand that even sometimes for half a minute, there's a concept of tircha de tzibura. Tircha de tzibura means that you shouldn't be so heavy on the tzibur. Yeah? So that's where the concept comes from. Okay? Menanem ile. How do we know these words from? Right? Which means, how do we know, right, that a sukkah uschach is more than 20 amot is disqualified? How do we know? Because that's what we just said in the Mishnah. Mishnah, we said, sukkah she'givola mola mesimah psula. How do you know that? Rav Yehuda said it's kosher. But how do we know that it's psula? So Amar Rabba says, Amar Kal, said a pasuk. Leman yedeu torotechem ki basukot toshavti bnei Yisrael. What does that mean? That everyone should know for generations that I put bnei Yisrael into sukkot. Until 20 amot, Adam yodea shehudar basukah. Person knows that he's in a sukkah. Lemala mesim ama, but above 20 amot, and Adam yodea shehudar basukah. He's not aware that he's in a sukkah. Mishum dela shalta ba'ena, because you don't have the ayn, right? The shuf ayni, it's too high. You don't pay attention. Many people, when you look up, you could only see a certain height. Above that, you don't do that. People don't go like this. Yeah, they don't walk like that. You understand? Some people, when they're gavtan, so then you're right, their nose is always in the air, so they could see. You understand? But people which are anavs, right, their head is always down. They're going to start looking, they're going to be able to see a 20 amot above. They can't see it. So since they can't see 20 amot above, they don't realize. Yeah, remember 20 amot is 10 meters. Yeah, it's a lot. 10 meters is, you know what 10 meters is? The height of Moshe Rabbeinu. Yeah?
But there's also an issue of the shade as well, though.
Which one?
There's also an issue of the shade. There's an issue of the shade. If it's too high, the shade's not going to hit the sukkah. Yeah, that comes after.
We'll speak about that afterwards. Very good. Okay? That's what we're going to see right now. So now, one more time. So the first explanation, above 20 amot, you don't have the shua, you don't have the eyes. The eyes cannot see it. So that's why, because of that, it's a completely different halakha. By the way, if you remember, that was explanation by Chanukah also. By Chanukah, more than 20 amot above, it's not a good Chanukiah if you place it there. And that was the reason why we said that the brothers didn't know what happened with Yosef. They threw him into a pit, but they didn't know that there was snakes and scorpions or not. Why? Because it was, what? Because it was 20 amot. Since it was 20 amot, people cannot see. Whether up or down, they cannot see more than 20 amot. Okay? Rabbi Zera Amar. Rabbi Zera comes and he gives another opinion. What's the opinion of Rabbi Zera? Mehacha from over here. V'sukkah tiyeh letzel yomam mechorev. The sukkah will be for shade in the daytime from the heat, right? So it says, Ades nimama adam yoshev betzel sukkah. Until 20 amot, a person is still in the shade of the sukkah, right? Why? Because 20 amot, it's tall, but still when the sun is coming in, it's still the shade of the sun. It's still the shade of the, he says, but more than that, En adam yoshev betzel sukkah lebetzel tefanot. You're not in the tail of the sukkah, you're in the tail of the tefanot. Meaning, if it's going to be much taller than that, so any shade that's coming is because of the walls. It's not because of the sukkah. It's not because of the outside, not inside. No, even inside, even inside. The second that the walls are too high, so then any shade that is going to come inside is because of the walls. It's not coming because of the schach, which is above, and therefore it's going to be disqualified. That was the second answer, right? The second reason why above 20 amot was going to be problematic. So Abaye comes and he's going to tell Rabbi Zera, Ela me'ata. Now I'm going to ask you this following question. If you're going to make a sukkah in Ashterot Karnaim, right? Here it says it's a lowland, right? That lies between two large mountains. Okay, so because of the height of the mountains, it doesn't shine. So he's going to say, Hakanami Dulovi Sukkah. You're going to tell me it's not a sukkah. Why? Because there's no shade provided, right? Because it's by the mountains and not by the sukkah. For sure it is. So what's the problem? Imagine you're like in a valley, in a low place, right, in the plains. And now what happens is you're in between two mountains. So now any type of a shade will come because of the mountain, not because of the sukkah. So now you're going to tell me it's not a good sukkah? So that's what Abaye asked Rabbi Zera. It's a good question. It's a rejection. It's a question against Rabbi Zera. So Amale answers Rabbi Zera. Hatam dala shiro kanaim ikatzel sukkah. Hachadal defanot lekatzel sukkah. He says no. The case of Ashterot Kanaim is different. Why? Because in Ashterot Kanaim, take away the mountains, and you still have the schach. You still have the shade. Here, it's only the shade because of the walls. So therefore, that's what he says. Dal defanot, if you take away the walls, right, there's no tzel sukkah. There will still be no shade provided by the sukkah, by the schach of the sukkah. That's what it means. That means the mountains is something external. It's not because of the walls. Here, it's because of the walls that it's a problem. Okay, a third opinion. So that was number 1, 2. Now this is number 3. So one more time. Why is a sukkah psula? Number 1, your eyes. Your eyes cannot see more than 20 amot. Number 2, the shade. Answer number 3, third opinion. It says, V'Rava amar mehacha. This is now Rava, right? The first one was Rabba with a hay. Rabbi Zera was a tzel, was the shade. Abaye asked against Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Zera answered it. Third opinion, Rava. Rava amar mehacha. Rava comes and he says from here, Basukot teshivu shivat yamim, right? In a sukkah, you have to live for 7 days. Amrat Torah, the Torah comes and says, Kol shivat yamim, all the 7 days, you have to go out from a dirat keva to a dirat arai. Meaning, the Torah purposely wants you to go into exile. People, they live, right, in fancy houses, right? They're all over the place. People, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right after Rosh Hashanah Kippur, tells you, get out of the fancy house. I want you in a sukkah, in a hut. Because that's what life is, right? That's what life is. Life is not about a fancy house. Get out of your fancy house, make your dirat keva. Now this is your dirat keva now, right? Your dirat keva becomes dirat arai. Now this is your real dirat, right? Why? It is really right after Rosh Hashanah Kippur because it's resembling galut, exile, and it's showing us what the true perspective is in life. A lot of people, they forget life. They think, yeah, we have fancy houses, boats, planes, this, that. What is life? Go into a hut. That's the real life. You understand? So he says, Semi derakeva, dirat arai. Until 20 amot, Adam said dirato dirat arai. Until 20 amot, people make their house dirat arai. I mean, even in the olden days, they would make tall roofs, right? It came back in fashion. Yeah. Right? They have the tall ceilings, yeah? But until 20 amot. He says, Lemala me'esrim amah, but more than 20 amot, and Adam said that it will never become arai. It would only be keva. Meaning, if a person's already making such a tall roof and everything, it means that this is a fixed house. It's not like a dirat arai, ela dirat keva. So Amale Abaye now comes and asks against Rava with an aleph, ela me'ata asamech hitzot shel barzel v'tzilkech al gaban hachanami delo v'sukkah. You're going to tell me now if the person made a sukkah with iron walls and he placed schach over them, you're going to tell me that it's not a good sukkah? Obviously not. So therefore, even if it's going to be built in a tzurat keva, it's still going to be okay. So here, you're right. Forget about the height. But what do I have? I have what? I have walls which hurricane proof. Mamash, iron walls, right? Right, you have everything. You're going to tell me now, so what? Now you're going to tell me it's disqualified? Obviously not. So Amarle, so he clarifies it. He says, no. Hachi kamin lecha. This is what I meant to say. Adesri mama, until 20 amot, the Adam said dirato diratarai, right? Where a person will come and make his dirah, his house, as a temporary dwelling. So if you would make it until 20 amot, which normally is dirat arai, you can make it keva, meaning you can make the iron walls and you're still going to be tzedek chuvah. But above 20 amot, that a person makes his dirat keva only. So even if you did it dirat arai, also you're not going to be tzedek chuvah. You're also not going to be tzedek chuvah. Meaning that it all depends. I don't care about the rai or keva in the wall in itself. The wall could be mamash, iron wall, or it could be whatever. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is it dirat arai or dirat keva? Above 20 amot is dirat keva. So even if you do it like walls which are arai, which are very flimsy walls, doesn't matter what, you're not going to do chuvah, right? Continues the Gemara on Bet Amud Bet 2b. Yeah, please put on your seatbelt. Yeah, and follow along. Put your finger on the place. Yeah. So he says, as follows. Kulu kirabba lo amre. So again, there were 3 answers. Yeah, Rabba with a hey, which was basically that we need what? Shuf Einik. Then we had Rabbi Zera, the tzel, the shade. Then we have Rava with an aleph, which is to do with the Dirat Ara and Dirat Keva. Okay? Rabba is with a hey, Rava is with an aleph. No. It was rabbi, teacher, and student. Remember that Abai and Rava were students of Rabba and Rav Yosef. Okay? So it says over here like this. Kulu ke Rabba lo amrei. Rabbi Zera and Rava did not say like Rabba with a hey. Why? Because on the pasuk that it says Leman yedu dorotechem, that all the generations should know that I put you into a sukkah, hahu yedia ledorothu. Right? That is for generations. Which means it's not coming to teach you about how to do a sukkah. It's telling you for all generations and generations, you're supposed to have a sukkah. That's all that it's telling you. It's not telling you how to build a sukkah. It's just telling you for generations, you have to make sukkot. So even today, we do sukkot because of that pasuk. Okay? They also didn't say like Rabbi Zera to do with the tzel, the shade. Because that pasuk in Yeshaya is referring to the days of the Mashiach. So the sukkot to do the mitzvah, meaning we're going to have the shade, right, of the sukkah in the Mashiach's times, in the Mashiach era. But it has nothing to do with what we're doing nowadays when we come, right? And we have that. Because that's going to be, right, Yemot HaMashiach. Rabbi Zera, now Rabbi Zera, what would he say to defend his interpretation? So says the Gemara, I don't know why we didn't ask it on Rava. Rava also should have been able to defend his interpretation, but we only ask for Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Zera, how's he going to defend his interpretation that it's not talking about Yemot HaMashiach? Says the Gemara, Imken and so the pasuk should have said, "Vechupa tiye letzel yomam," right? That says the chuppah, right? That means there will be a covering, a chuppah for the shade during the daytime. Umay vesuka tiye letzel yomam. So why does it say the other way around? That it says vesuka tiye letzel yomam. Doesn't say chuppah. It says suka tiye letzel yomam. Shma mina tarte comes to teach you two different things. That in the Messianic era, that means during the time of the Mashiach, Hashem will erect structures that will provide shade and shelter, and the term sukkah also denotes, it also is the concept of shade, and therefore the sukkah has to have shade as well. Okay, that's what it has to actually come and tell us. By the way, it's something actually very, very beautiful.
We're gonna make a sukkah for Leviathan, no? It says in time Mashiach they're making a sukkah for Leviathan.
Yes. Sukkah Rosh Leviathan, exactly. The sukkah. That's what we say. Sukkah Rosh Leviathan. That's what we actually say on Sukkot. Right? Okay, fine. But also, right, something actually very, very beautiful. What does it mean, the tzel? Right? So if you remember, right, somebody just actually spoke now in the funeral, right, of David ben Yishu, and he brought down the pasuk I was going to speak about. Adam lahevel dama, yamav ketzel over. What does that mean? Adam lahevel dama. Adam Arishon lived for 930 years. Right? Hevel, how long did he live? Hardly anything. He was already killed. Yeah? So, but we compare both of them together. Adam la Hevel dama. We're comparing Adam to Hevel. That means even though Adam and Rishon lived 930 and Hevel hardly lived anything, right? But they killed him, right? Still they were compared to each other. What do we say? Yamav ketzel over. The days, they go by like the shade, which means it goes by quickly and people don't realize, right? Tzel is 120. Which means that even if a person lives for 120, they're both the same. It all depends what you do in life. And it doesn't depend what you actually accomplish. It all depends what you accomplish in life, not how long does a person live. But tzel also is seidah laderech. A person always has to have provisions on the way. He has to prepare himself for the way. So people, they're going to, right, whether it's going to be Tampa or Arizona or Phoenix, whatever they're going, what do they have to do? They have to come, Orlando, they have to come and they have to prepare, right? They have to prepare for things that are going on the way. So therefore, a person, when we're going to Olam Haba, we have to start preparing. Yeah? So therefore, that's what we have to actually remember to start doing. So we have to start preparing our bags. Okay? Next. In Ken and so he says, what does it mean with Sukkot Yeletzalim? Two of them. Kerava nami loav. We also didn't say like Rava, Mishum Kushya Dabai, because of the question of Abaye. Remember, the question of Abaye is that comes Abaye and he asked against Rava, but what happens if you do Mechitzot Shel Barzel? Obviously, if you're going to do iron walls, for sure it should be kosher. So says the Gemara, fine, okay. Now it says like this: Kiman azla had amar Rav Yoshia Rav. Who does it go like this? So that which Rav Yoshia said in the name of Rav. Machloke b'shen defno magia l'schach. The dispute between the Tanakama and Rav Yehuda was, remember, in the Mishnah we said that Rav Yehuda was machshir, and the Tanakama said it's pasul. So the machloke between Rav Yehuda and Tanakama is only if the and defanot magiot l'schach, that the walls do not reach the schach. But if the defanot magiot l'schach, if the walls reach the schach, even if it's going to be above 20 amot, keshira. So who does this go like? Meaning, if it goes mamash all the way up, straight up, and it touches, that means the walls go up to the schach. It's kosher according to everybody. Who does that go like? Says the Gemara, like Rabba, that he says in the name Mishum de lo shalta be'ani disha. The kevan the defanot magiot l'schach, misha shal be'ani. He says no. If the walls go all the way to the roof, so then your eyes could see it, right? Because basically, when does the walls not go up to the roof? When the walls stop and then it continues going to the roof, right? But if the walls continue going up to the roof, you could still see it. So that is going according to Rabba. Rabba, that he says that lo shalta be'eni bisha. I say nabisha. Lo shalta be'ena. Okay, because usually they say nabisha. Okay, fine. Kimana hazla hada maravuna marav. Who's go like that which Rav Huna says in the name of Rav. The machloket is b'shela el arba amot el arba amot, 4 by 4 amot. But if it has more than 4 by 4 amot, afilu lemala me'esim amak shira. Meaning like this, there's another dictum, another stating that said that who is this going like that which Rav Huna said in the name of Rav, that the entire machloket between Tanakam and Rabbi Yehuda was only if it's going to be less. Sorry, if it's going to be more than 4, less than 4 amot. Sorry, less than 4 amot by 4 amot. But if it's or exactly 4 amot by 4 amot. But if it's going to be more than 4 amot by 4 amot, meaning 4 amot square, which is 1.92 meters squared, it's going to be more than 1.92 meters squared. Even if it's going to be more lemala me'asrim amad, it's still going to be kosher. So who does that go like now? And that means basically, when did we say that it's going to be disqualified? Only if it's going to be 4 by 4 or less. But if it's going to be more than 4 amot by 4 amot, then it's going to be kosher, even if it's much taller. Who's that going like? Keman says the Gemara, like Rabbi Zera damar mishum tzelu. It's like Rabbi Zera that he says it's because of the shade. The kevan de revicha. So since the sukkah is so spacious, because it's a big sukkah, it's got more than 4 amot squared. So then ikatzel sukkah, you will still have the shade. That means even though it's going to be so tall, you will still have the shade. Keman azahada Rav Chanan bar Rabba amar Rav. Who does this go like this? Which Rav Chanan bar Rabba says in the name of Rav. It says over here, machloket is b'shena machzek v'yoshuv rubov shulchano. Is the machlok between Tanakam and Rabbi Yehuda is only when the sukkah only could accommodate a person's head, the majority of his body, and his table. But if it's going to be more than that, which means machzek you to make the yoshuv rubov shulchano, so then even if it's going to be more than 20 amot, it's going to be kosher. Keman, who does that go like? It doesn't go according to any of these opinions, right? We'll explain above that if it's going to be, it has nothing to do with any of these opinions. So that means basically this Gemara that says that if it's going to be more than Rosho Rubo V'Shulchano, right, that it's going to be a kosher according to everybody, doesn't go not according to Rabba because of the scene, not because of the tzel of Rabbi Zera, the shade, and not because of Rabba with an aleph, which is the Dirat Arai Ba'id. So now it says the Gemara, Bishlam Rav Yoshia Pliga Rav Huna Rav Chanan bar Rabba. It is good that Rav Yoshia, Rav Yoshia, he comes and he's going to argue on Rav Huna v'Rav Chanan bar Rabba. Remember that, right? There were the three different opinions. Remember that Had Alzama Rav Yoshia Amar Rav. Rav Yoshia Amar Rav said defanot magiot l'schach, which means that the walls get to the schach. So he's going to argue on Rav Huna, right, and Rav Chanan bar Rabba. Rav Huna and Rav Huna was right. Rav Huna Amar Rav was that if it had 4 amot by 4 amot, and Rav Chanan bar Rabba, right, was machzeket rushov rubo shulchano. So Rav Yoshia argues on those two. Why? Because he's giving a measurement in the length of the sukkah. But they are not giving a measurement in the length of the sukkah. But according to Rav Huna, Rav Chanan bar Rabba, why don't we just say that they're arguing in the what is the kosher size for a sukkah? The more savar hechsher sukkah ba'arba amot, because one of them says that you need minimum of arba amot and arba amot for a sukkah kshera. That means you need 4 by 4 amot, 4 cubic meters, which is 1.92 meters squared, almost 2 meters, in order to have a kosher sukkah. And the other one just says, no, all you need is roshov rubo v'shulchano, which means you need your head, majority of the body, and the table, and that's already enough. So says the Gemara, no, that's not the machlok between them. Why? Techule alma hechsher sukkah roshov rubo v'shulchano. According to everybody, right, what is a kosher sukkah? If you have your head, right, your majority of the body, and their table inside of the sukkah, which, by the way, there's a lot of musar to learn from here. We don't have to see it, because if a person's head is in the sukkah, right, and the majority of his body, even if the rest of his body is out, and even the table should be inside, that means all his things are connected to the sukkah. He is connected to the sukkah. The sukkah is not this world. The sukkah is outside of this world. Remember, it's like the Olam Haba. It's in a sukkah shlomo. It's a sukkah shlomecha. It's Hashem's sukkah. that sila de memnuta, sela emunah, that is the real thing. That means even if a person is not 100% inside, but he's basically inside the sukkah, he's there, right? Okay, so that's very, very important. If you remember, who said this? Yisod? Kamchazi spoke about this when he did the Siyum Masechet, right, for Sukkah with us. So what exactly is the machloka between them then? It says here, the more holds that we're talking about, that it holds the head, the majority of the body, and table, right? But if it's going to hold more than a person's head, the majority of the body, and his table, according to everybody, it's going to be kosher. Or more savar and more holds, until 4 amot, it's going to be a machlok, which means the machloket is going to be from Rosho Shulchan until 4 amot. But more than 4 amot, according to everybody, it's going to be kosher. Okay? Meitvei. We're going to now ask the following question against Rav Huna and Rav Chana bar Abba. Right? Remember, 3 opinions. Rav Yoshia, that if the walls go until the schach, it's still going to be kosher, even if it's more than 20 amot. Rav Huna, right? Amar Rav, was the case of Rav Huna Amar Rav was 4 amot or not 4 amot, and Rav Chana bar Abba was the case in the name of Rav was Rosho Rubo v'Shulchano. So mainly we're going to ask the following question: Sukkah she'givolo lemala min sivim psula. We just said a sukkah which is above 20 amot is going to be psula. Rabbi Yehuda machshira by mechamisha ma, and Rabbi Yehuda is going to say that it's going to be kosher until 45 amot. So Amar Rabbi Yehuda, says Rabbi Yehuda, maaseh behilni amalka belod. There was a story with Hilni amalka in Lod. That her sukkah was taller than 20 amot. There were zekanim, elders coming in and out of there. They didn't say anything. Now here you have a case that the sukkah was 20 amot tall, right? It was more than 20 amot tall, right? And it was still kosher. Nobody ever said anything. So says the Gemara, Amrulo, they told him, Misham Raya, you're going to bring me a proof from Hilni Malka? Ishaita, she's a woman. Hilni, right? Malka, she's a queen. She's p'tura of a sukkah. Women are exempt of a sukkah. Women are not obligated in the sukkah. So Amar lehen, so Yehuda told the rabbis, Valo shiva banim avula. Yeah, but not for her. She had 7 children. Her children were obligated. Yeah, ve'od, and not only that, kol ma'aseh lo asta ela al pi chachamim. She did everything according to the rabbis. Meaning that if she did an action, even though she was a queen, she always asked a rabbi. She didn't do it on her own accord. Right? You understand? A person always has to ask a rabbi for everything. He has to move to the right, ask a rabbi. Move to the left, ask a rabbi. Yeah? So he says, right? Lama li lemitni. Yeah, he comes and he says, it says, Lama li lemitni ve'od kol ma'aseh lo asta al pi chachamim. So I'm going to ask 1 second. Just to tell me that she had 7 children was already enough. Why did you have to tell me also that she's doing everything according to the rabbis? So it says the Gemara, Hachi kamar lehu. This is what they told them. Rav Yehuda was telling the rabbis, Ki tomru banim ktanim ayu. Maybe they were small children. Uktanim also p'turim min sukkah. Little children are also p'turim min sukkah. Kevin the shivavu. 1 second. You're going to tell me there are 7 boys. You're going to tell me that all 7 needed the mother, meaning that there has to be a certain age. You're going to tell me that all 7, she had 7 sixlets or whatever, like, I don't know what, like how many, she had 7 children, and we're not talking about twins, saying obviously one of them or whatever minimum did not need the mother, and therefore would have been obligated in the sukkah. If you're going to tell me something d'Rabbanan, and the rabbis or the queen did not pay attention. Tashema, that's why she said, she always used to do all her actions according to the rabbis. So Bishma, it's good according to the mandamar then if it doesn't go up to the schach, it's going to be a machloket. Because it's normal that a queen would actually be in a place where the fanot do not get up to the schach. Why? Because there the elders do not say anything to her for being invalid. Rabbi Yehuda holds that the children were sitting with her, and they still didn't say anything with her. Even though the children were with her, they still didn't say anything. So therefore, the Gemara is actually finishing the story by saying that a sukkah that is going to be less than 4 amot squared and more than 20 amot is still going to be valid. Okay, and then we're going to continue with all the different lengths.